Hello friends, welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. Tiers, tabs, transfers. That's tiers, tabs, transfers. That's what you're going to get on today's video as we do another T for you. Tier list, which is similar to tiers. Don't worry about it. We are going to be doing a ranking tier list and it's going to be very exciting. And I want to go through it straight away. No messing about. Look, the transfer window, of course, is not done. Hasn't slammed shut as of yet. But the important thing is that we can put it into a tier list and decide what's doing well, what's not doing well, and who's winning at the moment. I think that's the most important thing. So what we're going to do, and let me show you it, because I'm quite excited about this. First of all, you've got your tier list. I'll go through the tiers before I go through the tabs, and then the transfers. Enough teas. Winning the window. That's the first tier. Next up, something's happening. Now, some of you guys will go, well, isn't it something's happening? Well, yeah, it is something's happening, but not today because I couldn't fit it in the box. So, as a shout out to the Northern Brethren, something's happening. So there you go. That's that. Good, but is it good? Good, but is it good? Standing still. So, I mean, you know what that means. An iceberg ahead. Watch out! Because if you don't make moves quickly, you guys are going to be in trouble. There is an iceberg ahead. I think that makes enough sense. Let's move on to the tabs, shall we? Because what I wanted to do was to give a kind of an overall feel to the situation at each club. So here you've got in green, and look, the formations, of course, different teams play different formations. I know there's been a lot of debate about Arsenal and if they play whatever. Green means generally you're happy with them. And I think the thing to remember this is the expectations for these different clubs changes. So it's not about who's better and who's worse. It's just about that club and their expectations within that position. Okay. So you've got, if they're in a good place, basically is green. Yellow means we're okay. They're not bad players, but do we totally want them here? We're not completely sure. Red means they're probably not good enough for this club and need to move on. The red boxes are areas where they need to strengthen. And from that point, we can then rank these teams. Okay, so it's time for us to have a conversation, a little chat. Don't get too angry about all of this, okay? And we're going to have a bloody good time, okay? And we'll talk through the transfers of these teams. Because what is quite revealing when it comes to the, I'm saying a lot of T's here, the tabs, is that you get an overarching feel of the squad and if they're actually in trouble or not, which is something I really wanted to stay away from this year, where you go, well, they've done lots of business, that means they've done well. Not always the way. So we have all that in place. The last thing to say, and this is really important, so make sure you pay attention here, guys. Whilst we're ranking, I'll tell you what's not rank. Surfshark, today's sponsor. Now, what is Surfshark? Surfshark is a VPN. What is a VPN, I hear you ask? It's a virtual private network, you idiot. I've been doing this for ages. And if you haven't got one yet, you're a mug. Please keep listening. Pop quiz. What encrypts the data between you and your computer? Surfshark. What keeps you safe and sound with its fantastic brand new antivirus software? Surfshark. What allows you to travel the world virtually via the internet by changing your location due to the thousands upon thousands of servers that Surfshark provides? Surfshark. Correct. Pre-season has started, so now is the perfect time to get yourself Surfshark VPN because you can change your location. With all these games happening across the world, especially for the teams in the Premier League right now, for you to be able to watch these games sometimes, you might need to be able to be in that country to have their IP address. So just change your location using Surfshark's VPN and it will provide you access to watch your team during pre-season. Also, for EFL fans, if you want to watch your club's stream of your away games at 3 p.m, the only way you'll be able to do it is if you're in a foreign location. So again, change your location using Surfshark's VPN, links in the description, and you're sorted. Surfshark aren't messing about this summer. You're going to get the first 3 months for free. I can't say it. It's going to have to go in now, isn't it? 3 months for free, as well as 83% off. And my favourite part of the deal, unlimited devices. You can put Surfshark on unlimited devices. It's really good. Right then, guys, Surfshark continue to support the channel, which is wonderful, but it's also a wonderful product. So if you are thinking of getting a VPN, get involved. Use the offer that's here. 3 months, antivirus, and of course, unlimited devices, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Link is in the description. Thank you very much for that. Click on it now. Thank you for that. Thank you, previous James. Surfshark are the nuts. Links in the description. Go and get involved. 83% off, which I think with people, you hear that a lot. And that's the bulk of the price. So if you need a VPN, get involved. When we're talking about tabs, I did miss a couple. And if we need to, in the chat, because of course at the end, I will allow you to make one change, as we always do. I've also got all the transfers for all the different teams, so we can have a look at that as well. I've also got the rumour mill on Transfer Market, and I've tried to take in as many transfers as possible, but I might miss one or two. Let's begin with one of these clubs. First person in the chat to say the club that they want, we will look at that club, as long as it's not a certain club that I keep to midway through the video at the very least, because I'm looking to retention. Man City, interesting. No, Arsenal was the first one there. Arsenal was the first one. Let's start at the beginning. We might as well make our way through, actually, in that way. I might save a few to the end. So Arsenal, this is interesting. This is a great one to kick off with, actually. So look, 4-3-3, 4-1-2-3, whatever you want to look at it. I think overall, the moves that they're trying to make, I'm pleased with. If I was an Arsenal fan, I could see that, look, there's constant links. The links are to players that are the right profile, young, exciting. I still think there are some areas that need sorting out. Those areas are left back position. I still think that needs sorting out. Of course, we did a video on that rebuild of Arsenal, and the box-to-box midfielder as well. Paqueta they're looking at in that area. Tielemans as well. I will say that. I think if anyone gets Tielemans, I think that's a real game changer for the teams that seem to be linked with him, in particular Arsenal and Spurs. If you can get him, that's pretty exciting. I still think, as I said, there are areas that need to be improved. The 6th position, the 8th position, left back. And actually probably up top as well, because you haven't really got the depth there. Nketiah, look, I like Nketiah, and I know people get annoyed. But you need more, especially if it's going to be Europa League. That's not enough in terms of central strikers as of yet. So if they get some of these players that they're linked with, then great. But then when we move to where we're going to put them, remember, winning the window, something's happening. Good, but is it good? Standing still, iceberg ahead. When I look at that, I'm generally pretty pleased. Vieira, we don't know enough about in terms of it being in the Premier League. And I think the big thing to remember is expectations is huge on this. So it will differ for different clubs because you're looking at it differently. Did I say differently enough? I feel like I did. I think Partey will be injured at times. That could be a problem. Xhaka, I know you can move him across there, but still. Overall, I think they're moving in the right direction. If they bring in the players that they want to, I am kind of excited about Arsenal this season. If they can get a few more. And I will contradict myself. I'm sure I will. But I think I've got to say something's happening here. I do think if they can get a few of these guys, it's on. And Jesus, I do like. The more I think about Jesus, the more I like that situation. So there we go. There's also a few loan signings that have kind of come back which they need to sort out. But overall, I like where their energy's at, if I may say so myself, and I do say so myself. Let's move on let's go Villa. Now, Villa. So this is interesting. The spine of the team is really strong. Really, really strong for Aston Villa. I like the centre-back positions. I think Diego Carlos is a right footer, but plays mostly as a left-sided centre-back, as you can see in my little notes. Konsa, I think, will be the starter along with him. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Mings, because you've got a World Cup. And actually, there's a few centre-backs, English centre-backs, that could have a peculiar time and have been in previous squads and will be fighting for the World Cup. That's another video, another live video for another time. But with this, I like this, and I think Villa are playing quite narrow this year. You've got someone like Leon Bailey, I've got him on the side here. Leon Bailey could be changed into another position. That's another video that's going to be on the channel soon. So if you haven't subscribed yet, if you could do me a favour, actually, because I've been away for a week, just to get the algorithm going again. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you could hit the button for me, that would be massive. Not a million miles from 200k now, but more importantly, just to get the algorithm going again. If you haven't subscribed, please do that for me. That'd be massively, massively helpful. And hit the like button, guys. 1,600 people watching. That's great. So yeah, I like the idea of Bailey coming into these central striker positions. Of course, they might not do that. They might play with 2 attacking midfielders as well at times. What have I done there? Overall, the spine is good, but my concern is this, the fullback positions. They have brought in a couple of players. I'm just not totally convinced there yet. And the reason why I'm worried about that is that Aston Villa, the fullbacks are really, really important. So Cash and Dean, they have to stay fit. And if they don't, then you're getting a bit concerned. So that is my problem with them right now. Video coming soon, probably. So when it comes to them, love to know what you guys think. Chambers, yeah, fair enough. You got Chambers as well. I'm not sure yet. I just still think you need to sort out the fullback positions. I'm not totally convinced. It's good, but is it good? George Report says Brighton. Let's head over to Brighton. Sunny Brighton. I'm definitely going to miss some teams here, aren't I? Brighton. So with Brighton, there's two. So Brighton and Brentford. We'll do Brighton and Brentford now, because Brighton and Brentford, you go. These are two really well-run clubs who bring in great players all the time and sell them on for a profit and then develop the next lot. And that will probably be the case. And if you want to be safe, then you go, yeah. And what I would say when I look at this is I think Cucurella, someone who can play left-sided centre-back for them when they play against the big teams, or as a left wing-back as well. He's obviously been brilliant in both. He's been linked with Man City. Is he going to stay? But if they lose him, they are currently in trouble. Elsewhere, Undav is one of those ones where the stats are there. He is really exciting, but it could backfire. But it is Brighton, so you'd imagine that they would get it right. But the other forwards that are there, I mean, I like Welbeck, but not always fit. Maupai, this is it. Look, expectations. Let's talk expectations. Brighton, do you want to go for it, or is it just going to be this little incremental thing and you hope you have one year where it goes poof and you have this like Leicester season? That is incredibly sensible and fine, but I still think you need some reinforcements. Right wing back looks a little bit light. Both fullback positions look a little bit light. You've lost Basuma as well. Casado's looks like he's getting better and better. Lallana's not getting any younger though. I think they were linked with... Who were they linked with? I've got it here. They were linked with quite an exciting... Is that Onana? Was it Onana? No, it wasn't. Someone else. Is it Kamara? Mohamed Kamara. That's it. If they get Mohamed Kamara, then again, I think you can be really excited about that. And you're kind of back on the position that you want to be. But at this moment in time, I'm not that excited by Brighton, I'll be honest. And I have concerns. I do have concerns. So at the moment, I would say that they are standing still. They are still standing. And I think that's crucial. Don't know what that means. Let's do Brentford. Brentford. Right, again, it's the same thing. It feels like Brentford can do no wrong. And now, the moves that they've made so far are smart moves. And again, you've got to remember, this is tiny little Brentford. And I don't mean that disrespectively, but it's a small club, right? So you can't keep spending loads and loads of money. Lewis Potter is really smart business because you've got a guy there on a 7-year deal. I'll repeat that for you guys. A 7-year deal who... Say he does well for you, becomes amazing. You sell him off for really good money because he's still got 3 years left. That's in 4 years' time. Or he doesn't do well. You still got enough on his contract, and you can sort of stick it out with him, I guess, a little bit. You're giving him the time to get the best years out of him. You're not. So I wonder if that's something that we'll see more and more: 7-year deals with young, exciting players. Because Lewis Potter's not proven it, obviously, in the Premier League. Sorry for that banging. But overall, there is a massive lack of creativity. They need an attacking midfielder. Eriksen was such a game changer for them last season. And I'm a little bit concerned because the other thing as well is when you've had that season where you've stayed up, the year after, I think it is a bit of a slog. I always think about, say, Huddersfield when they stayed up. I also think there's not enough backup in the centre forward position. If Tony gets injured, they are in massive trouble. As I say, Eriksen is a huge loss. De Silva needs to step up and have a good year for them. Hickey's signed, which is good because you got that the fact that he can play as a right back and left back. So I think these are good signings, but there is a bit of a lack of depth there. I expect them to still make a few more moves. Wissa as well, I think, could have a decent season this year. I think it could be a tough one for them. And because of that... Where are you, Brentford? Where's Brentford? Why can't I see Brentford? Gone blank. It's right there. I think there's an iceberg ahead here. I just think there still needs to be move made as we speak. As we speak, right? There's not creativity there right now. And it's a concern. It's a concern. Okay. Where are we off to now? Where do you want to go to now? Let's go Chelsea. Chelsea's interesting. Because again, look, this is about expectation. I still think, look, if you want to do what Chelsea want to do, which is to play 60 games for the season, and to do really, really well, you're going to need to sign another striker. I'm sure they will probably go and do that. And the Koulibaly one, I think that's a hell of a signing, really, and that's going to really shore up that defence. Is he a little bit old? Yeah, he's a little bit old. But, this is Chelsea. This isn't Brentford. Like, you're not spending 40 million on one player when you're Brentford. It's Chelsea. They do this quite often. What I would be concerned about is both a right wing back and left wing back, a lack of depth there in terms of a team that will want to utilise these fullbacks a hell of a lot. If they play 4 at the back, they're still going to want to use those players a lot. And so if you don't have those guys, and Azpilicueta goes, Lonzo's not getting any younger, there's a bit of a problem there. But overall, it's probably not as bad as you think. It's probably not, especially, it depends who stays and who goes with a lot of this. But in each position, and we'll look at Liverpool and Man City a little bit later in the video, the sort of 2 quality players in each position, they're getting there. Maybe right-sided centre-back is another area you need to sort of get a little bit of help with, possibly. But the number one thing has to be a striker. Love to know what you guys think on this one. Where do you put them? For me, I think currently, as we speak, I think they're standing still because I don't think they're making these giant strides forward. Could they do that? I'm not totally sure. It's a standing still, but look, they've got a lot of time, and you would expect them to make those moves as well, right? But yeah, in those 2 specific areas, if you think of what happened to Chelsea last year, the big problem was the fact that they didn't get that sorted out. Next up, Crystal Palace. Ooh. Now, I like what's going on here. Now, remember, guys, at the end of this video, you will be able to make one change. And I've put the chat on slow mode because I want quality, not quantity. Okay, don't just spam me. Palace. Johnston, really good signing. Decore is one hell of a signing. I don't know how they've done it, but it's what I like is the strategy here, I think, overall. And Zaha, I know, is linked with Roma. Don't see it totally happening. Plange is an exciting player as well. Ebowie is, if I said that right, also an exciting one for the future. I think you're going to have an entertaining team. It's going to come down to the ability... the fact that they don't lose injuries and just shore up in a few areas. I think they're linked with Morgan Gibbs-White. I think that's a really strong area they need to sort out. And the defence, there's a lot of a lack of depth here. They really, really... Look, that's why it's one of those where you kind of go, I like this on the surface, but this could unravel really, really quickly. Really, really quickly. That said, if you want to be positive and, stick with these guys... That's a really great centre-back partnership. That's an amazing centre midfielder that's come through the door. I think Milivojevic is linked with Fulham at the moment, which feels a bit odd to me. Eze coming back now. Elise can play in that position, of course, as well. Mateta looked a bit good as time went on. Edouard is not a bad player as well. I know Palace fans aren't totally thrilled with him. Schlupp's got great versatility as well. I like it, but they are short on numbers. And especially in the right-back position, they haven't got that real quality at the moment. But overall, I think it's a mix between it's good, but is it good? I think the Decore one makes me feel like something's happening there. If you think of what the kind of players Palace have been signing, something's going on there. I think you're going to enjoy watching them this year, surely. You're going to love watching Palace this year if people can stay fit. I think it could be a really exciting year where they have a little go. And hopefully my boy Eze does some bits as well. We continue to move. Where do you want to go? Should we do Fulham? Let's stay there. We've spoken about them for a second. Fulham have made a couple of really strong signings. So I think one in particular, the Paulinho signing is a really, really strong signing. Really, really strong signing. The right-back position is a massive problem. Should have got Nico Williams. Obviously, for whatever reason, that didn't happen. I don't know why. We'll get onto Nottingham Forest. Maybe we do them next. There's a lot of questions here, and there's a lot of questions with a few of the promoted side in terms of just how good they are. This Fulham side was way too good for the Championship. Way, way, way too good for the Championship. They need a right-back, centre-back, and 8. Because Chalobah, Kearney, Onamar, Reed... haven't really done it. I really like Robinson. I think they need to get themselves a centre-back and sort out this defence. They need to be careful here. I think they made one or two, but for me, it's good, but is it good? I still have some concerns with them. But it's one which we're probably just going to find out. I think it could come down to the coach when it comes to this one. Nottingham Forest. Now, Nottingham Forest. We did a video on them. 6 days later, they've signed a couple of players, and I'm like, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Is something bloody happening here? Allcott, don't know a huge amount about him, I'll be honest, but it was an area that needed sorting out. As we said in that video, that Nottingham Forest video, so if you're a Forest fan, go check that out. The Zinkernagel hole is a bad one, as is the Ghana hole. Sounds horrible. But what I think I'm really impressed with, Nico Williams and Omar Richards, 2 really strong signings. Awani, I think, could really bring out the best of Brendan Johnson. I think he's a better version of Davies, who they had on loan last season. If they can get O'Brien, who we put forward in the video as well, and they're linked with, I think that's really, really useful for them as well. I like what Forest have done. I think something's happening here. And I think there's going to be just so much excitement and energy around them going into the new season. I think if they can make a few more signings, then great. But already I'm quite impressed. Quite impressed. Where do you want to go next? Where do you want to go next? Southampton. Got to be quick. You must be quick. Colback's decent. Is he? Not Premier League's a jump, isn't it? Southampton is short. I like Aribo. I think this is a great signing, by the way. I think he'll fit how Hasenhüttl wants to play really, really well. Lavia is a signing from Man City, I think. I think he's young, though. I think he's 18, so that's obviously a big jump. And Romeo and James Ward-Prowse will be reliant on those two in a big way. Salisu had a great first season. Bazunu could be a great goalkeeper for them for the next 10 years. One of those ones that kind of lily pads off Southampton as well. Overall, though, I think the left midfield position just feels really stale, and also the striking positions is a massive problem because there's a lack of depth there, and it's a team that generally wants to play 2 up top all of the time. So they need to go and get a striker. Who they're going to get, I don't know. I'm wary of being too harsh on Southampton because I think I do that quite often, and I think it's because they don't get the press coverage really. But overall, they've got a lot of good pros. You know, Armstrong, for example. These guys have moments. Redmond has moments, just not consistently enough. But it's kind of like, what are you trying to achieve? You got 2 good fullbacks there, but Livramento with that cruciate, that's going to affect it as well. I think on this left-hand side, it just feels a little bit weak at the moment, and just generally, from what I've seen and what I've read about Southampton, they're all feeling a bit stale and jaded when it comes to Southampton. So a few signings to excite the fans. You've lost Brozier as well, which is huge. I think they need to... I'm worried. I am worried. And I know I've said this numerous times, but for me, it's standing still or iceberg ahead. I think they need some sort of injection. You've got Shea Adams as well, who's been linked with Nottingham Forest. If that were to go through, you'd be very concerned. I think you're spot on. Who just said that? Jasper. Spot on. Can they score enough goals? That kind of comes from the creativity as well. There's always a moment where you go, well, they're a Premier League name, so they must be fine. And then there's that season where you go, oh, God, they're not now. And that's when you get relegated. And there's so many well-run clubs making good moves this year. Kotchamp, yeah, that's a good point. Where is he? Have I not put him in there? Oh, yeah, Bella Kotchamp. Bella Ketchup, I like to call him. He's a saucy player. Yeah, isn't he? I might be getting this totally wrong. I think he's quite young, though, isn't he? That's my concern there. But overall, not the worst of signings. I think in time he'll be good for them. It's just overall, it's the striking positions. Just if you lose one of those, you need to have someone to come in and they have to be Premier League ready. It's a concern. Where are we off to? Leeds. Leeds have done... So here's the situation with Leeds. The situation with Leeds is the fact that the Rafinha and the Phillips losses were inevitable. Were completely inevitable. So you have to judge their window, which it could be a disaster, right? It could be iceberg ahead because you've lost 2 big players and you're having to bring in a load of other guys and hoping it works. But that had to happen because you were going to lose those 2 players. I know Rafinha's not gone yet, but he will go, let's be honest. So to bring in the players that they've brought in, I think they've done something really, really brilliant here. The outlayings, I think, so far is like 90 mil, but they'll get the money back once Rafinha has gone, if he does go for that big money that it looks like he will do. And what I like here is Look, I still think you need a right midfielder. Is it De Ketelaere? I think they're linked with. If they get him, then that can be an exciting area for them. Sinistera can play on that side and cut in, so that's an option as well. Dan James did spend 30 million on Dan James, so he's good. But is he good? Not for me. Left back, I think you could do with a bit of help there. I'd love to see Jack Harrison. I'm calling it now. Jack Harrison to become a left back and to be a really exciting one. Sort of Angelino vibes. Thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. As he's officially signed. Oh, amazing. Thank you. There you go. So Rafinha's gone. This is great. That's not going to age well. Christensen, good signing. Rocker, really, really good signing from the stuff that I've read. I know Bayern Munich fans, but my mate Tim really didn't want to lose Rocker from Bayern Munich, but it's just no space for him there. So that could be an absolute stroke of genius. Him and Tyler Adams could be really, really strong there. I like Forshaw. And this is the thing, the players at the sort of bottom of this list, there's quite a few youngsters here. Gabby, who's very young, but an exciting player for them. I think they could do with another centre-back. But they made good moves. They have made good moves. And they also think, and they need one more striker as well if Bamford's not fit. But it might be one where what I would like to see for them is get to December, be in a confident, comfortable position, and then you can go Gelhardt, Greenwood, is it Archie Gray? Like, let's give you a few minutes. Somerville, I think it's a big year for him as well. Like, give these guys an opportunity. I know I've not got Archie Gray in there, Archie Morey. But yeah, I've seen FJC was saying that he's an option for you. But he's 16, isn't he? So yeah, a few changes still need to be made. Fullback, centre back would be nice. Although Llorente's not the worst. And who doesn't love a bit of cock? So with that in mind, I think I'm going to go. I think they're up there because it could work out. That could massively backfire. But I'm going to chuck them up there for now and let you guys decide. I'm intrigued. Bournemouth. You want a bit of Bournemouth, do you? You want a bit of Bournemouth in your life? Let's have a look at Bournemouth. Bournemouth, I've got to be honest, I'm worried. So here's the thing. It's just question marks, right? And this, I think they'll probably do badly in this video. But overall, it's not, don't, Tom, I see you there in the chat. Don't, stay calm, okay? How many Premier League proven players do we have there? Not a huge amount, okay? But do we have a team that could do well in the Premier League? Yeah. Solanke, Moore, why not? Anthony, why not? Dembele, maybe not, but maybe. There's a lot of players here that could be at a sort of a bigger club and be a squad player, and you go, yeah, they're Premier League quality. So there's a lack of depth in defence. Centre-back position in particular needs some help. That could be Mr. Nat Phillips. He could sort that out. There is no first team right-sided centre-back in my eyes yet. Mepham, do you know what I mean? You know? Yeah. So I think there's still some... Fredericks has come in. Rothwell, again, someone who could be Premier League quality. We're just not sure yet. Cook has had moments. Pearson, you know? It's one of those. Tom, I see you in the chat. I think it's one where, let's wait. Give the boys 5 games. You know? Okay. I think that means I'm going to put them... They're not improved. I wouldn't say they've improved, all right? So I'll be kind. Standing still. And I guess the thing to say is that, weirdly, if you don't go too crazy, I know it's a bit of a Norwich move, but it means that you stay away from the iceberg ahead because at least you've not spent outrageous amounts of money. But at the same time, you kind of did that to get in the Premier League in the first place. So... standing still, I'll be kind. Where to are you now? Everton. Should we do Everton? Let's do Everton. I've been very kind with the green here. Very, very kind with the green. Get a bloody 6. For the love of God. If you don't, you're in trouble. You're in massive, massive trouble. The thing with Everton is that they need to wash away how we all felt about that squad last year. But also that needs to occur within the players' minds as well. And they need to be able to start again and be refreshed and be the best version of themselves. Is that possible? Because Godfrey's not a bad player. Do you know what I mean? I think the centre-back positions are strong. I think that's about it. I'm concerned. I've got to be honest. I am super concerned. Patterson, as a number 2, that's a really good number 2. Will he... usurp Coleman? That's right, I said usurp. Hit the like button. You hearing that anywhere else? YouTuber begs for likes after saying usurped. That feels like the headline. On the right-hand side, Gray, Townsend. I know people like Gray. I do like Gray, actually. So maybe that's it. But I would still like to see another right winger come through the door. Gordon, second season, will he be better for that or worse for that? I know Newcastle will link with him as well. Overall, I do have concerns. And DCL, if he's injured, then what on earth are you going to do? What you going to do? What you going to do? I smell, and that's difficult, but I smell an iceberg. I think we're all a bit worried about Everton right now. Lampard and the coaching team need to get a hold of that team and revitalise their bodies and minds. Tactically. Right. Leicester. I mean, so Leicester fans will be a bit annoyed with their window. But they are not a million miles off a good squad, you know. They're really not. They're not linked with anyone. So I wanted to show this player, Benjamin Beauregard. I love this guy at Leicester. I think he's been linked with them, actually. And for 8 mil, he got 11 goals. I don't know if you can see it down here. He got 11 goals, 12 assists last year and created 15 big chances. And look at the versatility of the guy, which I think is always important with Leicester. I think he could be really, really good for them. Can play on the right, can play on the left, but more predominantly on the right. Ademola Lookman has gone. So with that in mind, they need to sort of sort that. Perez is just overall not the guy, is he? So it's about who do you want to be, Leicester City. Because, again, Tielemans, that's also a concern. Where's he going to move? Is he going to move? And will there be a replacement for him? I think Pratt wants to go as well. But Maddison has come on leaps and bounds, which is good. I think the centre-back position is an area where you could really sort of take up the whole team a notch, because if you can get some more clean sheets, then you're giving yourself a much better chance, because I like the attacking scenario in terms of the strikers. I know you're never going to really replace Vardy, but I like Daka, and Iheanacho does score goals. Barnes could catch fire at any minute. He could also get injured at any minute. But it's a good squad, and it has versatility. I mean, has any team in the Premier League got better fullbacks than Leicester? Let me know in the chat. So, but when it comes to the transfer window, I guess if, say, they lose Tielemans and don't really replace him and don't bring anyone else in, that's really disappointing. So I think this is an easy one, isn't it? Standing still. Certainly not good, but is it good? Wolves, let's get this out of the way because it's just so depressing. I'm sorry, Wolves fans, but I'm struggling to even talk about the Wolves. It's just super boring. Probably because the team was so boring last year. They won't go down. Some people might go off the cuff. I mean, the only way they go down is if Jimenez gets injured. Go get a bloody another striker. It has to be done. Fabio Silva, I don't care if he's 19. He's not good enough to be the backup for a Prem team at this moment in time. Go to the Championship, score some goals, and then come and talk to me. Not really linked with many people either. They'll stay up. It'll be solid. Because of this centre-back situation, got a good goalkeeper. Overall, the fullbacks are pretty good. And obviously, look, the midfield is good. They're good players here. Why they're trying to sell Gibbs-White, and if Everton get him, great signing. Why they're trying to sell him, I just don't get it. He's exactly what they need. So there's a bit of cut and thrust. Traore will probably leave as well. Hwang needs to sort himself out. Podence and Neto are two good players, but again, real lack of depth up top. You pull your finger out, please, Wolves. Standing still. You're just lucky you've got such a good defensive unit there that you're not iceberg ahead. I think you probably might be all right. He doesn't want to stay, does he? Well, okay. Oh, they just signed Collins, haven't they, as well? Did I put him in there? Might not. Remember, stick around to the end. You will be making a change, okay? Oh, it's good to be live again. West Ham, where are you? Okay. West Ham are being linked with a lot of players, which I like. Statements of intent are there. The areas where they need to sort themselves out, I think they need an heir apparent to Declan Rice, because he will leave. And have you lost Noble as well? Look at Coventry in the Midlands. I think you need depth. yes, Vlasic can play on that right-hand side. Benrahma can as well. Bowen's generally going to play for you. But could you have a bit more, another option on that right-hand side? Something just to spice it up a little bit. Antonio needs some help, but I think we're seeing that they're trying to do that. If they can get Scamacca, it'd be crazy. Aguerd is good as well. Aguerd is good. So it's nice. It's a good, solid squad. Johnson can play on that side, and so as a third choice, that's great, but actually ends up being a bit higher. Cresswell, Masuaku. Masuaku's not up to it. Cresswell is solid, but can let you down at times. We saw that in the Europa League. I feel like you need to go and get yourself a left back, because Soufal's great and creates a lot, but can we have a bit more on the other side, a bit more of an engine on that left-hand side? That would be nice to see. J-Lings and Scamacca, Carl, it's a great shout. If you can get them in, that will be pretty exciting stuff. Flynn Down. Yeah, that's right. Flynn Downs is possibly that. So yeah, maybe we've solved that already. I should have put that in. Apologies for that. So overall, it's one of those where, you know, they haven't signed that many. Flynn Downs is one of those who they spent a lot on. I thought that was a lot of money. I've got to be honest. But it's one where standing still currently, but I expect that to improve. If we do this again in a little while, I would expect that to be much better. Right, let's do... that was high, wasn't it? Let's do Newcastle. Oh, nearly went to my WhatsApps there. Could have been dangerous, couldn't it? All the nudes. So again, linked with so many players. Isaac, Diaby, Ekatike. I'm not sure if that one's going to happen now. I think there's... Look, again, it's down to expectation. Here's what I do like. You got brought in Pope and Botman. That is one hell of a defence now. It's a good, solid defence that you can sort of, as a really great base that you can start to grow with. I think you can be really happy with that. You've got the option of playing 3 at the back as well. So you could play Trippier as a right wing back if you wanted to go down that route. Botman's a hell of a signing. Pope's a hell of a signing. I'm intrigued to see what he does in terms of his passing abilities. Never had to do that. And will he need to do that here? I think he needs to sort out midfield. Just not my boy Joe Linton. Don't worry about it. Hey. Don't worry. Not my boy Joe Linton. But what I would like to see is what's going to happen with Guimaraes, because Guimaraes could play as that 6. And he could certainly play in a double pivot. And I think what you'd like to see, or would be intrigued to see the option, is having a double pivot. So you maybe play Shelvey with Guimaraes, and then he moves into the 8 position, bit like Fred was doing in the game the other day against Liverpool, and then you can then maybe have an attacking midfielder involved as well. So is that a player that you can bring through? Paqueta, yep, I think would be a really good shout for that. So it's one where, again, at the moment, what's happening, I think the important thing to know is that Summit will be happening because of the money that they've got. Can we go and get a right winger? Because I think you can do better than Fraser. Depth at centre forward, I think, is going to be important as well. And left wing, Alan St. Maximin. He's good, but is he good? Might be a video that we need to do at some point. Does have moments. I know people will be quite angry about that, but we move. So I think overall, here's the difference between them and West Ham, is the fact that Summit will happen. I mean, Summit is happening. They're linked with a lot of exciting players, so it will happen. I'm just not as certain that West Ham will do it. Whereas Newcastle, common sense will prevail, and you go, okay, they're going to buy some more attacking players. So I think they're in a nice position now. Right, final 4. Will it be the top 4 this year? Time will tell. So what we'll do. Let's go Liverpool. We'll do Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Tottenham. Let's have a look at Liverpool. So, I mean, it's a good team, believe it or not. What? Bombshell. Liverpool have good squad. The question is, right? So, look, you're very strong everywhere. Very strong everywhere. Okay. Could you get another DM? Henderson's not getting any younger, and he doesn't really play in that position that often. He generally plays over here, doesn't he? I know Thiago can come and play here sometimes as well, but you don't really see it that often. Could you get another one in there? Maybe, if you wanted it. Cater, am I being a bit harsh at the moment? But is this an area where you could go and get a world-class Jude Bellingham? Maybe. Elliot, I've got Elliot here and here. So I think in this position, amazing. But as a right winger, That's why I'm putting him as yellow for this one. So is that an area where you could go and get an exciting understudy? I know Elliott is that, but he's a very different player to Salah. Someone who can kind of play in the same role as Salah. Maybe you go and simply say, Jota, you can go and do that. Possibly. And he definitely has done that, hasn't he? He did that with Jimenez. So maybe you're just fine. Nunez, of course, has been a big signing for them. Ramsey's come in as well. I think I've heard that he might be injured for the start of the season, so I hope Arnold's all right. I spelled his name wrong, haven't we? Here's the question for you guys, right? And remember, you get one comment in the chat here. According to the tiers, winning the window, you've only made one signing, so we're not going to do that, are we? That's a lot of pressure to put on Nunez. Something's happening here. It's already happened. I think, we know they're good, so the expectations are high. Good, but is it good? I think that's worth debating. Could be good, but is it good? Standing still. Now, here's the question I'd like to put to you. Are Liverpool, for the first game of the season, are they a better first 11 and squad than they were at the end of the season? Yes or no? Yes, they're a better squad. No, they're not a better squad than when that final whistle went in that Champions League game. Oh, Carvalho's come through the door as well. Answer that question. Yes or no? Yes, it's a better squad. No, it's not a better squad. Because that's just how these tier lists work. You have tiers. That's what we're talking about. Conversation is... I'm getting a lot of no's. I'm getting a lot of no's there. Yes, just about. So... And I haven't, but yeah, I've got Carvalho. So with that in mind, are they standing still? They're not improving, are they? I don't make the tier. Maybe I do. Although Tom Jordan, help me out. And it's just a tier list. Honestly, don't sweat it that much. How does it get made better? Don't sell Mane. Probably. That's a good question. Let me know. Can it get better? Standing still. You guys can make a change at the end. Okay. I think that's a fair point. I think right in the chat now, fair or unfair in terms of Liverpool standing still. I think it's so difficult for them to get better. So I think they probably are standing still. But what I would say is that is one hell of a squad. Look at all the green. There's no red. We move on to Man City. So here's what's interesting about Man City. Whilst you're typing in fair, can you all hit the like button as well? Thank you. Lots of green. They have lost a bit of pace here. Now, I know Haaland provides pace. Alvarez too, I guess. But Sterling... So, say you get to the end of the window. Zinchenko leaves. Bernardo Silva goes to Barcelona. Mahrez has been linked with the move as well. That squad... Ake goes. That squad, all of a sudden... For a team that will play 60 games in a year, that feels like quite a thin squad. So what that means is, is now the time, the likes of Herrera, McAtee, are they going to actually, Cole Palmer, they're going to get those minutes now? Delap. Don't know what's happening with Delap. It's going to be an interesting season. Because... Look, of course, the Haaland deal is amazing as well. I know he's getting paid a lot, but still, it could be pretty awesome for them. But they do look just the tiniest bits thin if you lose a lot of them. And it's all, Bernardo, you would imagine, would stay. I get that. Mahrez, now that Sterling's gone, I think they would probably want him to stay. No. And Alvarez, I think you've got a new superstar here on his way. So he was born in... Wasn't he bought in January? I might be wrong with that. Man City, I think it's good, but is it good? I think that's the only question mark I would have. Like, we're not totally there yet. Obviously, I think Haaland is just going to absolutely tear it up. I really, really do. I mean, could you say the same about Liverpool as Man City? And is this just not the tier list for them? Do you know what I mean? Or is something happening? Are they going to get the Champions League and all those bits? Are they going to dominate? I think it's good, but is it good? Because I just wonder, if you get a couple of injuries, like what hurt them a little bit a few times near the end of the season, sort of, they did get Haaland. So I think it's good. But is it good? Do you know what I mean? I know it is good, but is it good? Is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Right. And a reason, but again, amazing squad. So Liverpool, amazing squad. Man City, amazing squad. Let's have a look at Man United. I mean, look, Eriksen might be on his way. I think that helps the centre mid position somewhat. De Jong, we would expect that to happen, but we're talking about the transfer window so far, aren't we? I think if they get those two, they still need to get Martinez. They really, really need to make that work. It's going to all come down to Ten Hag, the coach. Go and get a bloody right back. You have to go and get a right back, a good one. If you want to be a good team, I love this song. If you want to be a good team, you must have really good fullbacks all the time. Can't remember who sang that, but it's a good one, and I think it's very true. Get a fullback that's going to work for Ten Hag. This should all be done. Anyway, you've still got some great players here. Sancho, Ronaldo, will he stay? Will he not stay? Even all that, in terms of the overall narrative of Man United right now, it's very difficult. Martial has one good game. We think he's good now. I'm yet to be convinced. Still so many areas to get sorted out, and they need to get it sorted out too. Delo is good. He's good, but is he good? And the important thing is he has to be good. And I'm not sure he is good. Iceberg ahead. And Spurs. It's been all right, innit? Let's be honest. It's been all right thus far. Remember, you get to make a change at the end of this, so stick around. I love the Richarlison signing. I think it's so smart. I actually think they've got a transfer in Lo Celso, but by that I mean don't sell him. Use him as that attacking midfielder. But as I said at the start of the video, if you can get Tielemans, if Spurs can get a right wing back and Tielemans, you know, doing a lot of weird sounds. It's good to be back. Summit. It makes me just think Summit, you know. Perisic. I'm intrigued to see how many years he's got left. But Sessegnon's really improved as well. Left wing back is, you know, nice and strong there. Longley, I'm not convinced, I've got to be honest. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out. Because Davies has been really, really strong in that position. I know you do want to get someone else. If they'd got Pau Torres, that could have been such a game changer for them. Be interesting to see if Tanganga goes, if Rodon goes, as well. That would mean that they're a little bit lighter, and maybe they still want to go and get Pau Torres. I think Longley's on a loan, isn't he? Needs to sort out the right wing back position. I know Royale has improved. I know Doherty's improved. I'm intrigued why the Jed Spence one hasn't gone through yet. Is Reguilon going to Sevilla? So be it. I think that's understandable. He needs to be able to play football. But the midfield's really strong. I think, as I say, still need that little bit more attacking, like a proper 8. If you know what I mean, in midfield. But could Lo Celso become that? Richarlison's a really good signing as well. Yeah, they spend some cash. We'll see how it plays out. I think they're winning it. Surely. I mean, is anyone going to disagree with that? I'm going to put them there. I guess it means now that we've got 2 in that final position, doesn't it? So I think they are in that tier, winning the window, Leeds and Tottenham. For both of them, of course, the season hasn't started yet and the window hasn't shut yet. So, you know, time will tell. So that is my tier list. And that is correct. It is spot on. But, you know, I'm a giver, not a taker. Just ask my wife. The joke was right there. So what remember, you've got one vote per, I want to say 10 seconds, 20 seconds. If you could make one change, say the team, and up or down, off you go. Because I think there was a couple of super chats there I do want to get to. Estham, hello mate. Are you bringing Jaffin back for the new season? Absolutely love the pod. We can only move forwards. Been watching you since Ball Street. Mate, thank you for that. Thank you for your continued support. Javan will return. And we have some super, super exciting news coming when it comes to Javan as well. So we will be back for the new season. It's always good to have a little refresh. We've obviously got the mailbag. So if you do want to become a patron, please do. We have regular meetups at Fleet Services. If you know, you know. So yeah, get involved. The pod will definitely come back. I thought there was another super chat. Let me have just a quick look. Hang on. Have we got another one? We have another one. Yeah. Sean, West Ham going to look incredible by the end of the transfer window if Moyes gets his way. Okay. Noted. Right, you've put forward who you want. Let me have a look at it. Go any worse, guys. I think you're not getting it. Leeds standing still for the same logic Liverpool are. You can't tell me they're better now than they were with KP and Ralph. I think you could argue that they could be better. I think you could easily argue that they could be better. If those players hit the ground running, definitely. Because there's so much better that they can do. I don't think that works at all, Adam. Sorry. Man City down, Villa up. I think it's Leeds down. I'm seeing a lot of Leeds down. Okay. So, Leeds down to what? Something's happening. So, Leeds down. Where are you putting Leeds then? Final vote then. You get to change it. Where are you putting Leeds? I think this is ridiculous, by the way. I think they're winning the window currently. Because they had to make these changes. Had to. So, what tier are you putting them in? What tier are you putting them in? Come on. Hopefully the audio's better now. Sorry, I just need to be closer. Can you hear me? Should be able to hear me. Good, but is it good? Something's happening. Good, but is it good? I mean, I hear that. You're saying the mic's broken. Oh. Standing still. Come on. I'll give you good, but is it good? I'm not giving you any more than that. That cannot be done. It cannot be done. Right, guys. It's good to be back. I love you all very much. And we've got 2 super chats. Right, quick. Nunez simply can't contribute as much as Mane. Nunez can't contribute as much as Mane and absolutely kills the Liverpool squad. The midfield isn't strong enough to carry on. It's not about winning the tier list. I mean, it kind of is. I was trying to make you feel better. I mean, look, it's just how it is. Jaden, Arsenal good, but is it good? They have potential, but are playing more games this year. Can they handle the amount of fixtures? It's a bloody good point. He's doing it. He's made the change. He's given it good. Great work. Well done. You convinced me there, Jaden. Good work. Right, guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Check out Surfshark. Thank you very much for watching. We will do this very soon. And also, we're probably going to do some phone-ins maybe next week. The channel is going to be banging in the next couple of weeks. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor. Hit the button because it makes the algorithm go woo. And everyone's happy. All right. Have a great day.